Ohio State football news just got a whole lot brighter. Not that it wasn't bright before, but a whole lot brighter than it already was heading into the weekend. And I have a huge update for you about Ohio State football recruiting momentum that is picking up fast. And this Saturday spring game in the shoe could be the spark that locks in some big time commits. While the national media, they're stuck talking about the SEC games that they didn't even watch because they weren't even on TV this weekend. The Big Ten is making some serious moves, closing the gap fast and getting perception on their side with spring games on television. Today, we are diving into why Ohio State fans should be absolutely pumped about the visitors rolling into Columbus. If you're a Buckeye diehard, stick around because we are breaking down this defensive prospects that have coming in, a high priority offensive tackle who's likely committing to the Buckeyes before the game even kicks off, and a potential surprise appearance that could change everything in his recruitment. Let's get into it because first off, let's give credit here. Credit where credit is due. The Buckeye staff has been grinding, and the energy around this recruiting cycle feels different in a good way. After people had the questions and kind of wrote Ohio State staff off early on last year, the class finished extremely well. I think every Buckeye fan can trust this staff, especially when they didn't have the financials last season as well, because they were hamstrung by some, the university stuff. Anyway, they're already sitting on a strong foundation for 2027. I got the class here pulled up next to me, and the spring game is going to serve as a major showcase. You can expect some movement. Ohio State currently holds the number 4 ranked recruiting class on 3 in the 2027 cycle, and adding the right pieces could push them toward the top 3, maybe even first in the cycle type of spot that they're chasing. Ohio State is about to get a huge recruit to commit this weekend, and that will help solidify some more toward that. If you love this kind of good news and you're tired of the national media sleeping on the Big Ten's recruiting surge, hit that like button. You know the Buckeyes are about to kill it this weekend recruited. Let's start on the offensive side because there's some real smoke around one name, and that is the 4-star offensive tackle. I'll bring him up here, Jimmy Kalis. Now, Jimmy Kalis, like I said, I'll bring him up here. Give me a second. There he is. Pittsburgh Central Catholic has his commitment set for Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. His finalists are Clemson, Georgia, LSU, Miami, Ohio State, and Texas. But after the most recent visit to Columbus earlier this spring, the buzz is pretty strong in Ohio State's favor. Kalis has raved about the coaching staff, the culture, the fast tempo offense. That's right, fast tempo offense, and how Tyler Bowen connects with the linemen. He's got family ties here as well. His sister already a student in Ohio State. Insiders are painting a very favorable picture for the Buckeyes. If Kalis pulls the trigger for Ohio State on Friday, he'll be on campus Saturday anyway, and that would be a massive early win. He'd be the first blue chip out-of-state offensive lineman in the class since Ian Moore, and the staff sees him as a high-priority developmental tackle who fits their mold perfectly. Now, shifting to the defensive prospects, and man, there's some big names on this list, okay? Ohio State fans need to have their radar open this weekend. These visits matter because the spring game gives recruits extended time with the coaches. They can see the fans, and fans, you better believe you going to the spring game impacts these dudes. To be able to see this is how many fans you get when it's a spring game, that impacts them to be able to see that. Larry Johnson on the defensive line, Tim Walton in the secondary are doing work. One guy to watch closely is 4-star edge Wyatt Smith. I'll pull him up here for you. From Fort Lauderdale, St. Thomas Aquinas, Ohio State offered him in March, and he jumped at the chance to visit this weekend. 6'6", 240. He's the number 85 overall prospect, top 100 nationally. The Buckeyes have a 5-star edge, David Jacobs, committed already, so they're just hunting for the perfect bookend pair with him. Smith's got offers from Florida State, Missouri, and Nebraska, but this extended time with Coach Johnson could help Ohio State vault to the top of the list. St. Thomas Aquinas has been a pipeline for the Buckeyes and is treating them like it with a serious opportunity here. Another intriguing name, and he's only a 3-star, but still an intriguing name and a guy with some talent that needs to be recognized, is Munir
Lewis. I believe that's how you pronounce it. He is an edge from Lyndhurst Brush High School in the 2027 class. In today's NIL world, Ohio State is smartly mining for these in-state gems, and Lewis fits the bill. They offered him in March during an earlier spring practice, which is fantastic. And now he gets the full shoe experience, I guess, full spring game experience. Michigan State is the main other school that's pushing here, but the home state advantage has Ohio State setting the pace. This could be a shutdown recruitment if things go well on Saturday. Exactly the kind of efficient win the staff loves. And in the secondary, I mentioned Tim Walton. In the secondary, oh, there we go. Let me get it here. Jaden Carey, another St. Thomas Aquinas. I told you they were a pipeline product. This will be his third visit to Columbus since the offer, which tells you the interest is mutual by all means, right? He's a Miami legacy, so the Hurricanes are in the mix here as well, but cornerback coach Tim Walton has Ohio State right in the thick of it. Carey could be a versatile chess piece for this defense, the kind of guy who mirrors what Jordan Hancock did late in his career. It won't be easy, but the Buckeyes are battling hard, looking further down the line to 2028. Two defensive line prospects are making the trip as well. One of them being Caleb Tucker out of the state of Illinois, Chicago Mount Carmel, 6'5", 355. They call him Bone Crusher. You're going to tell me you don't want Bone Crusher on your team? Yeah, he has nearly every offer you can think of, including one from Ohio State. This is his first time back in Columbus in almost a year after some scheduling conflicts last fall. He's a fan favorite across the country for his size, nickname alone, and the staff will want to make a strong impression on him. Then there's the 4-star Jayden Bell. Jayden Bell, let me bring him up there. There we go. From Bloomfield Hills, Brother Rice that's right, the state up north. He's ranked as the number 32 overall prospect, number 5 edge in the 2028 Rivals Industry rankings. Ohio State hasn't offered him yet, but that could change this weekend. I expect it would. This is his second trip to Columbus in the past year. He was here for the Penn State beatdown in November. Remember that? That was a good one for the Buckeye fans. So the interest level is already high. A strong showing Saturday might light the fire. On the offensive side, the visitor list there are more names worth tracking, but I'm going to go through them a little bit quicker, so I'm not going to be able to bring up each one. It's going to just take it super slow, but we're going to go through them. So 4-star running back Nigel Newkirk from Gainesville, Georgia, making his first trip to Columbus. He's got an official visit scheduled for June, and running backs coach Carlos Locklyn has been staying in regular contact with him. Elijah Newman Hall, the 4-star Florida running back who committed to Ohio State last summer, will be back for more FaceTime, even as other schools keep poking around with him. Glad to get him back on campus. I know Ohio State fans are. And don't sleep on the 2028 4-star quarterback Lucas Prock from New Jersey. Gotta love New Jersey if you're a Buckeye fan. The talent that comes out of there. And then ultra early, I know we are really stretching it out here, but ultra early 2029 stud Ty Snell from Texas. Ohio State offered Snell before he even played a high school snap, and they see him as a potential generational talent. Not saying he's committing or anything like that, but he's going to be there. One name that could be a game changer if he shows up, and I do think there's a possibility that he shows up this weekend as well. Drum roll. David Gabriel Georges from Chattanooga, Baylor. He's a Buckeye, clear number 1 target at the position, playing A, B, and C. Georges just trimmed his list to Ohio State, Texas, Ole Miss, and Georgia. Carlos Locklyn has the strongest relationship here, and they've got an official visit lined up for May 29th. It's still a 2-man race with Tennessee and Ohio State, but Ohio State feels good about where they stand. There is a long shot chance that he pops in on Saturday. If the schedule is aligned, it would be huge for holding off the Vols. But like I said, it is a long shot, so don't expect it. Just be on the lookout for it. Here's the big debate, though. The big question for Buckeye fans. Wyatt Smith or Munir Lewis? Which they're both visiting. Who do you think becomes the next edge commit for Ohio State? And should the staff go hard for that shutdown recruitment for the in-state kid? Drop your take in the comments right now. I read every comment out there, and I love seeing the debate. I love seeing you guys' opinions. And honestly, helps me make better videos for you when I see your opinions and what you guys think. Overall, the spring game weekend feels like a momentum builder. The defensive visitors give the staff a chance to evaluate and impress in person, while the offensive targets like Kalis could deliver immediate good news that can get momentum going for the whole thing this weekend. If a couple of these lean the right way, Ohio State stays locked in with that top 5 class, top 3 push, and we'll keep delivering the honest analysis, going against the national media when they get it wrong, and still let you know what you need to know. What's your biggest questions about the recruits? Do you think Ohio State's going after any flip targets or anything like that? Drop them in the comments. If you want more Ohio State football news and deeper Ohio State recruiting breakdowns, you won't go anywhere else. I lie. There's a bunch of other Ohio State places out there, but you can find some really good content here as well. Hit that like button, subscribe to the Big Ten Huddle, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We've got more spring game reactions coming right after some stuff goes on, plus a full breakdown of what these visit means and everything else coming as well. Thanks for hanging out and being here with me. Until next time, go Bucks and enjoy the spring game. Now,